evening, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to this Wellness Moonshot Revolution, seminar about preventive strategies for heart attacks. And I want to welcome everyone. Those of you who are joining from India, Australia, UK, USA, and all over the world. We're very happy that you could take your time out and be with us. And, Wellness Moonshot Revolution is all about preventing diseases. And, we have in our midst a very eminent specialist, consultant, to share his immense knowledge in this field. And, according to Dr. Rachakonda, the first step is to prevent heart attacks is comprehensive health education. And Dr. Sarma VSN Rachakonda, an eminent specialist and senior consultant, will share the knowledge on the risk factors for heart attacks and time-tested preventive strategies. He has over 40 years of experience. I was looking at his CV. It looks like a novel, It is several pages. And, I wish I had more time to just talk about his qualifications. He started with his MBBS, but my goodness, got 40 years of experience. He's currently part of faculty of a few reputed medical colleges in India and a consultant physician in internal medicine in Bangalore. His short CV highlights a couple of pages, okay? And I don't know how the long CV would look like. I'm sure it's a few pages long. The highlight of, the highlights is that his firm, believer in the approach that teaching and sharing knowledge is the best way for self-development. And he started a program to impact the world, which really fascinated me and really attracted me towards him. Because it was not about him holding on to his knowledge he was sharing, but also he wants to impact humanity by allowing other people also to influence, people to live a healthy and happy life. His visionary ECHO program, which is the Empowering Community in Health Outcomes, is part of our core values in WMR, which is all about impact, making a difference in this world. So, without any further ado, I would like to welcome, our good friends and somebody that we look up to in the health and wellness field with his vast experience. We are eager to learn from him, how, we can prevent heart attacks and allow people to live a healthy and happy life. Thank you so much, Dr. Sarma Rachakonda, and we are eager to listen to you. Take it over from here, sir.
Good evening, everyone, and good morning to the friends abroad. It has been a wonderful time to be with all of you, and I really enjoy, as he said, sharing the knowledge, whatever little we could imbibe. And again, I start this presentation with a salutation to the Almighty. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. The phrase Idam na mama, this is not mine, is ever relevant when we are saying something, particularly in the scientific world or in the spiritual world, because we are ever guided by the great teachers of yesteryears who have carved our lives into what we are today. My humble obeisance to all my teachers, primary school, secondary school, college teachers, professional teachers, postgraduate teachers, and then spiritual teachers. More than anything, each patient is a teaching walking book. So my humble obeisance to all those patients who made me somewhat wiser by their inputs to me through feedback and through their clinical presentations to me. Okay, without further introduction, we'll get into the topic. I try to share the screen. Okay, now I request all the other dignitaries here. The Wellness Moon Revolution has been instrumental in bringing me here, and I thank them very much at the outset and request them to mute their videos too, so that it won't be any distracting to us. And then let us do it like a worship this 1 hour, and then see how best we can put them into practice. So this has been said already. What does this mean, this slide? This means nothing. This means only that the responsibilities we carry on us are bestowed on us with great confidence by those various organizations. And we should live up to that expectation and be better every time we walk a step. Coronary artery disease in India is a different proposition. It is called CADI, C-A-D-I. So there are books and books, volumes are written on this particular subject, coronary artery disease, more so in Indians. CAD, the short form of that, is coronary artery disease. You may wonder why it is called coronary artery disease. I don't know how many of you really know the meaning of the word coronary. Corona, you know, you're very familiar with that word, coronavirus. Corona is crown. Coronary artery, this is the crown artery of the body. It means what? It has got the empowerment to rule the body and everything else. So that is why it is called coronary artery. Artery means the one which carries oxygenated blood to the body. It's an artery. Coronary artery disease, a disease affecting. You can see on the left-hand side a diagram of the heart and these tiny blood vessels you can see here. This is one coronary artery. This is another coronary artery. This is blocked here, and this part of the heart, we call it as myocardium. Myocardium is nothing but the muscle of the heart is infarcted or become dead, functionally dead. Okay, and structurally also dead after a few hours. We don't want to die the structural death. It's a heart attack. Time is muscle. The functional death has occurred because of lack of blood supply. Structural death we would like to prevent. That is called golden hour. This is called door to balloon, door to hospital. Several things are there, but we are not going into the treatment of the disease as such. Today our emphasis will be on prevention. Okay. So let's talk from the heart and dedicate this talk to all our office bearers and other members of the Wellness Moon Revolution, WMR members, and of course to the members who are present here to listen to this talk. This can be heard as well as obtained from the website www.drsharma.in. Okay, knowledge that isn't implemented never works. How much amount of knowledge in the mastika, in the brain I may have, unless I put into practice, no one can succeed without applying knowledge. That's where the problem comes. We all know that we should eat food. We all know that we need to exercise our body regularly. We all know we should avoid stress. We all relate to them because we don't translate the knowledge into information. It remains as information, but doesn't go as transformation. Information to transformation, there is an attitude and there is a practice. Knowledge, attitude, and practice. First of all, develop a positive attitude to life. We are worth living. First of all, we should know that and then strive and achieve that to the best of our ability. Okay. So the heart should be running regularly 365 days, 24/7, 60 into 60, every minute, second it has to work. That means what? Tirelessly it is working for us. And then a healthy heart ensures a healthy life. And there are simple solutions which we are going to look at today. All of us need to be alert. This is not a just now he has pointed out that there are many deaths in the world. We now estimate that there are 10 million persons a year or 10 deaths every minute. Heart attack kills around 10 million persons in a year, 10 deaths every minute. From the time we started the meeting till now, already 50 people are dead in these 5 minutes. India's population has high rates of high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, and triglyceride, another form of cholesterol, overweight, obesity, sedentary, inactive physical life or lifestyle. Heart attack is the #1 killer for adults. It may strike very silently without any warning. All of us may think, oh, I look very hale and healthy. Why should I get heart attack? Some people may think it is not in our family, things like that. It may take you unawares. In 20 years, past 20 years, they have become 4 times more common. 2 of the 4 people who get heart attack die, 50% mortality, and 1% before they reach for medical help. Isn't it a great killer? It doesn't allow you to even reach the hospital 25% of the time. And 50% of those who are admitted, in spite of all the best available technology, they still succumb. Once it strikes, the treatment is not simple, very costly, not effective in reducing the death rates. It is effective in but there is no bypass preventive health. Bypass is only a temporary process. We can't bypass the preventive step. Prevention is the best approach. This is the website by name Coronary Artery Disease in Asian Indians. Asian Indians means India, Pakistan, Burma, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and then Bhutan, Nepal, all the Southeast Asian countries together. These are called the Asian Indians. Enas is a leader and director of the coronary artery disease in Asian Indians, CADI Research. He stays in USA. I had the chance of meeting him in one of the international meets, and he published a book on Asian Indians coronary artery disease, and the website is given there. You can get it, more information on that. Now, there is another book, Indian author by name Gundurao HR from Bangalore, and Thanikachalam, the retired Vice Chancellor of Chennai Ramachandra Medical University. He is the associate editor. Coronary artery disease, a voluminous book, around 700 pages. Coronary artery disease means to say what? That there is a lot of information we need to know. We'll try to condense it. So we will go into the talk with this floor plan of 16 items: Mera Bharat Mahan, volcano, tsunami, mirrors of CV health, who loads the gun, what pulls the triggers, our treasure in the tummy, influence of affluence, good, bad, and ugly, why not count the boards, how to count the risks, missing links, our women are men, novelty of risk factors, fuel on fire or fire on fuel. Is it the end of the road? We have a glorious culture, traditions, and values, excellent present prosperity too in India, enviable future projections, innumerable great achievements in all fields, in spite of 3 Ps, the population, the poverty, and the political ill will, because these are driving us backward, but still we are very much forward compared to many nations. We are proud to be the children of this Mother India. For a glimpse of the glory of our Bharat Mahan, please visit this link here. There is a slideshow. I wish all of you show it to your children and youngsters so they know what is Mother India, and highest reverence and salutations to my Bharat Mata. Go ahead. Sare jahan se acha Hindustan hamara hamara. Doesn't stop there. सारे जहां से ऊंचा, type 2 diabetes हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से ऊंचा. We are the diabetic capital of the world, an ignominious distinction. सारे जहां से ऊंचा, CADI है हमारा हमारा. Coronary artery disease in Indians is on the peak, 2 to 6-fold higher coronary artery disease than people in another ethnicity. Indians have the highest, among the highest CAD rows. Apichedapi papebhya sarvebhyo papakrittamaha, says Bhagavad Gita. If you are worst of the worst sinners, like that, the highest of the highest CAD rates, irrespective of gender, region, religion, socioeconomic status. You may think that it is a disease of the affluence. Nay, it occurs and strikes even those who are below the poverty line too. We'll see the reasons. Same is true of immigrant Indians all over the globe. Our friends are sitting across in this audience. They are in the other part of the globe, but being Indianness itself, wherever they go, they carry the Indianness with them, with the result the coronary artery disease is much higher in immigrant Indians too. CAD risk is considerable even in vegetarian Indians. That's very important to note. India, CAD is 10 years younger and often silent myocardial infarction or heart muscle effect due to the blood supply lack. So there are 3 blood vessels I have shown you. They have names. You can call them A, B, C for your convenience. There are technical names for those 3 blood vessels. If are you a DVD? Are you a TVD? That is the question now. DVD is not a video player there. Double vessel disease, triple vessel disease, SVD is single vessel disease. SD is sudden cardiac death, sudden death. Sudden death is a very common occurrence in people with coronary artery disease. Major acute coronary events are like myocardial infarction and the more common in Indians. What did we learn out of this slide? We know that India is the diabetics capital of the world, and CAD is a special phenomenon, 2 to 6-fold increase in that, and it doesn't spare anybody in the community. And immigrant Indians are no exception, and it strikes very early, and major acute coronary events, sudden cardiac death, sudden death, triple vessel disease is more common in Indians. So this is another website, Telugu Literary and Cultural Association. They had a website and there was a Silver Jubilee celebration, and there was a presentation by one of the Indian doctors, Asian Indians at the highest risk of heart disease in the world. Needless to emphasize that. What is special in India? So India is a wonderful country in all aspects. Coronary artery disease also is very special and it is malignant. The word malignant means very dangerous. Benign means innocuous. Malignant associated with cancer. I'm not talking about cancer here. It is very dangerous. Why? It strikes early in life and strikes hard. Triple vessel disease, sudden death, major acute coronary, strikes almost everyone and strikes unexpectedly, unawareness in people who are unaware that they have heart problem. Conventional risk factors cannot explain Indian coronary artery disease away. CAD is malignant in its onslaught. Look at the mortality due to coronary artery disease in different countries per 100,000 population between the ages of 35 and 74. Russia ranks the number 1. Japan is the lowest among all. Now, where are we? We are not very far off. We are next to Russia, and USA is somewhere in the 5th or 6th place. So this is both in men and women. You can see the yellow bar is men and the purple bar is women. So whatever it is, India is very close to the top among coronary deaths in the world. Now you see this here, the orange bar is Asian Indians and Chinese is the yellow bar, and then the yellow sort of graph there, and Malayans are the it's called the gray bar. So you can see that Indians, whether male or female, they have very high occurrence of disease. This is from a study in Singapore. Okay. Now, likewise, these are to show you the burden of illness that is going around about Indian coronary artery disease. The same is true in California, where you look at the study where Asian Indians are 3.8 times compared to Japanese or Philippines or whites, and Chinese have the least. Now, what does this mean? This means we are sitting on a volcano. No, not knowing that it is a volcano. Agni-gunda. We are sitting on the volcano and not knowing that there is a volcano under our seat is the worst thing that can happen. We are all in the middle of a wave of coronary artery disease epidemic. This CAD, coronary artery disease in Indians, when I say CAD, you understand it is heart-related blood vessel blocks. Epidemic peaked in 2020 and 50% of deaths all over the world. 50% of CVD deaths occur in India. CADI will overtake any other infections also very soon. Just now it has been pointed out that Corona has killed so many people, but during the same time, we had much higher mortality due to heart diseases and strokes. That doesn't mean we should make Corona lighter. We should take all the precautions. Corona appropriate behavior, COVID appropriate behavior is a need of the hour. I again take this opportunity to impress on you. Let the virus mutate. That is its nature. What should be our nature? Our nature should be not chase Corona and get it. If you don't catch it, it won't catch you. What does that? That is the mantra of three things: the mask, the social distancing, and the sanitization. Yes, yes, SMS. So follow the SMS, live safe, and let others live safe. So 2025, CADI will be 8 times more than in the West. CADI will be 20 times more than in China, although our culture shuns smoking. Remember, 50% of our population are women, they don't smoke. And vegetarians too, many of them. And we lack many of the classical risk factors to the extent that the Western countries have. That means something else is working in the Indian blood to make us vulnerable. Remember, coronary artery disease is preventable, predictable, and curable too today. So what do? I don't wait it to be cured or anything. I get my prediction done right and prevent whenever the chance is there. So these are a few quotes from great persons who are working in this field. Genetics loads the environment, pulls the trigger. We are both nature and nurture. My nature is what my parents and grandparents have given me and I inherited from them. My nurture is the way in which I behave, the environment I create around me. Even if you have a loaded gun, if you don't pull the trigger, no harm is done. You cannot change your genes. You cannot change your parents, but you can see that the trigger is not pulled. So that is important. As the director. Just being an Indian places you at a higher risk for heart disease than having high cholesterol and being a smoker. If you compare the risk of high cholesterol and being a smoker, the risk of being Indian, the Indianness itself is a greater risk than that. Then they ask me sometimes, patients, sir, you are putting me on preventive medicines. What risk factors I have? First, your gender is male. Second, you are above 50. Most importantly, you are an Indian. That is good enough for me to start preventive strategy. This is from Robert Superko. Now, a lot of people, they just look healthy, feel healthy. They don't get tested for heart disease. By the time some of them find that they have heart disease, they're either in an ambulance or in a coronary unit in hospital. This is said by Dr. A.K. Rao, National Asian Indian Heart Disease Program Director. Now, the Berkeley study, 25% of the heart attacks occur below 45, unheard of anywhere. In the young Indians less than 30 years, CAD mortality is 3-fold higher than the whites in the same region and 10-fold higher than the Chinese. Sadly, many of the Indians perish in their younger life itself. Indians have higher prevalence of thrombotic risk factors. That is, the blood is, there are two things, the container and the content. The container is the blood vessel. The content is the blood. There are problems in the container. Also, we have problems in the content. The type of blood we have, which is not forming or thrombotic. Conventional is doubly dangerous. Suppose I'm an Indian and I'm a diabetic. Risk of a diabetic in the West is doubled here when I'm an Indian and diabetic. Even premenopausal women are not spared of multivascular disease. This, you'll just look at that age-specific death rates of heart attacks in UK, Indians, and general population. You can see here, general population, 869 in that age group versus 1059 here in women to It is 331 versus 450, 72 versus 101, 29, 295 versus 442. So these are all data we have on hand to say that same sort of environment they're living there, the genetics is different, the ethnicity is different. It is playing a very strong part in making them vulnerable for this dangerous disease. Look at this, the age, less than 55 years, 55% of less 55% of them are under 50, 55 years, and 50% of them are below 50 years. Means what? In the very prime of life, we are losing them. Can we not do something? All of us together should see that we prevent them. So this is the prevalence of coronary artery disease. 4 decades, you can see we are doing no better. It is ever on the increasing trend, just like our petrol prices, never coming down. Okay, Caddy Research Foundation has said that Indians, even vegetarians, these US Indians, non-vegetarians, New Delhi, Chennai, have almost an equal distribution. Whether you are in New Delhi or New Jersey, there is no difference. That's to say that the Indianness is carried in them. There is a tsunami of CAD in India. Padma Shri Professor Ashok Sheth, who has the Guinness record for doing the number of angioplasties in the world. He is an international cardiologist from AIMS, New Delhi, and he said there is a tsunami of TAD in India. Immediate steps is to get awareness. The purpose of this talk is that awareness among doctors is crucial, among general public also is crucial. Then we need to educate people at large by various programs like WMR or ECO project. Second step is employing preventive strategies, and key to tackling this tsunami lays in nothing but prevention. These are the words of Professor Ashok Sheth. He is an intervention cardiologist. Mind you, he is putting tube into the arteries and clearing the blocks, maybe 15, 20 a day, and that man says prevention is the answer. What does it mean? Risk for coronary artery disease, when does it begin? Very early childhood. The block or the waste material in the arteries, I will show you some pictures, builds up very quickly and extends into later life. CAD is not unavoidable consequence for all. That means we can avoid. Risky blood paves way for plaque buildup. Block is nothing but the waste metal crusted inside the tube, just like you have a pipe, the water pipe, and there is crusting material inside there. That is a plaque. Like that, here also the plaques occur. Small, soft, inflamed, cholesterol-rich plaque that ruptures. Plaques are 2 types, which are vulnerable plaques and non-vulnerable plaques. Some plaques which are soft and small in size also, they rupture and produce heart attack. Okay. Most importantly, do not wait. Begin heart healthy lifestyle right now. That is the point. Now, the Dushta Chatushtayam means the 4 pallbearers of coronary artery disease to the grave. 1, the cholesterols. 2, hypertension. 3, diabetes. And 4, smoking and other risk factors associated. The heart attack, and he is being a victim for all those 4. These are the big 4, but there are many others. In India, we have the other factors also operating to a great extent. Now, 35 to 50% of angiographically, that is, you put a tube and take a picture of the heart blood vessels, that is the angiogram, and proved coronary arteries accounted by the big 4. Only 50% are accounted. Remaining 50%, they may not have the big 4. The patient asks, sir, I am not a smoker. I am not a diabetic. My cholesterol you say are normal. My BP you are checking for 5 years, 10 years. It is normal. Why do I get heart attack? Why me? This why me is a question which the Caddy Research is addressing. There are several novel risk factors which are coming. So genetics loads the gun. Indian CAD gun is heavily loaded. CAD is a combination of nature and nurture. We have a special sort of cholesterol called LPA. All of you get tested for LPA. Indians by default, we have higher LPAs. Anything more than 30 milligrams of LPA is high. If it is 10 less than 20, it is normal. 20 to 30 is borderline. So get your LPA. What is this LPA? It is a different story. Remember that is a very dangerous fat in the body, just like another cholesterol. Genetic predisposition to diabetes, insulin resistance, we talked the other day, and chemicals like tumor necrosis factor alpha is also very much in me as an Indian. Me means all of us. Heterogenic lipoprotein phenotype, we have, there are two types, heterogenic lipoprotein phenotype and non-heterogenic lipoprotein phenotype. We have the heterogenic means the block producing type of lipoprotein in the genes for us. Genetically, we are having very low good cholesterol or HDL. HDL is high density cholesterol, high density lipoprotein. It should be there at least above 40 for men, above 50 for women. And then this is the protective cholesterol. And many of us, we have values 30, 35, which makes us vulnerable for heart attack. There is also genetically more, LDL is the dangerous cholesterol, low density lipoprotein. It has two types, A and B type is dangerous. We do have that. And we also have another chemical called homocysteine. So what am I having? Lipoprotein A, diabetes and insulin resistance, low HDL, heterogenic the ALP, and then phenotype B of LDL and homocysteine. These are the non-conventional risk factors other than hypertension, diabetes, smoking, obesity, and all that. Do you think that they are unimportant? Yes, they're very important. Having controlled them, you must also look at these things. So next time, when you get a blood workup done, ask for LPA, ask for LDL phenotype, ask for ALP phenotype, and look for homocysteine. Now, CADI is we have already said nature and nurture, sedentary lifestyle, affluence, urbanization, increased carbohydrate. We have heap full of rice, little bit of sambar, this much of vegetable, and no fruit. This is the diet we eat. Put the rice in the as a side dish. Put your sambar, your vegetable, your fruit in the main, and add little rice as a sort of add-on to the food. You have the main food and the add-on food. Rice is an add-on food, then you are safe. Minimal or non-eating of fruits is another cause, and we rarely thrive on fruits. And I recommend that all of us should eat fruits 5 servings. Each serving is 30 grams into 5. That is 150 grams of fruit in each food, like that 3 times, nuts and vegetables. Overboiling of oil. We just, we not only just heat the stuff, we put them in a boiling oil and then, kurkure, all those things. We all reuse the oil. The reused oil is nothing but a sort of saturated fat. Fast foods. Central adiposity is abdominal obesity. You see, go into the community, nobody is having the shape. Everybody has got only one shape, the pot-shaped belly and the cylindrical shaped body. This is all we have. And sorry, this is not the way a human being should look like. So look at our ancestors' pictures, how they are. Because we stopped working hard, physical labor is gone, mechanization has come. Now, carelessness about risk assessment, emphasis on treatment. Please do coronary angiogram. Please do this, please do that test. We are more interested in treatment than prevention. Device ridden, put 1 stent, 2 stents, 10 stents, bypass, intervention oriented, not prevention oriented. Extremely important, often forgotten, stress. You ask anyone, school master, very stressful job. Ask a doctor, no need to ask. Ask anybody, a housewife, I'm so stressed. The stress is such an integral part which has got a direct effect on the heart. So de-stressing or stress bursters are essential. Fallback is essential. So now the stethoscope for diagnosing heart disease is not the conventional one we use with the binaurals, but this is the stethoscope. The inch tape is the stethoscope. Is your waist more than 80 centimeters, my dear woman? Yes, you are in for heart disease. Like that, 90 centimeters or more, that is your pant size is 36 inches, gone. You are ready for receiving the trouble. So remember that 80 centimeters for women and 90 centimeters of men. I'm yet to find a woman or a man who is more than 30, 35, who has that beautiful Ajanta Silpa like waist. Days have gone. Only thing is cylinder and all rounder. We are all rounders. Okay. This is not to casual. This is to say that such an important thing is the abdominal obesity. Abdominal obesity begets insulin resistance and a syndrome called metabolic syndrome, which is a forerunner of heart disease. So this fat, if it is there within the viscera, in the organs, no problem. This fat is deposited right under the skin. This is called subcutaneous fat, means below the skin, and that's very dangerous. That is called a WAT fat, white adipose tissue, compared to BAT fat, that means brown adipose tissue. Brown adipose tissue is protective and good. White adipose tissue dangerous and produces heart problems. So how do I know is the intra-abdominal fat is under the skin or in the viscera? You take an MRI, we can see, but I don't require to do that. If you measure the inch tape, it is mostly subcutaneous fat. Okay. The BMI, all of you know how to calculate weight by height square into 100. The rule of thumb for the weight is 100. Your height in centimeters minus your minus 100. But if somebody is 160 centimeters minus 100, 60 should be the weight. Somebody is 170 minus 100, 70 should be the weight. And work out the BMI. Less than 23 is normal. 23 to 25 is overweight. More than 25, more than 30 is not 25. 29.9 is overweight. More than 30 is obese. Now, not only the weight is important, the waist is important. If weight and waist both are there, excellent. If weight is less, but the weight is more, but the waist is normal, bad. Here the weight is okay, but the waist is very much worse. If both are increased, the worst. That means what? Weight is important, waist is more important. So what do? I have to avoid abdominal obesity. How do I do that? Physical exercise and cutting the carbohydrates. If you cut the carbohydrates, I tell you, I promise you, not tell, stop carbohydrates for 6 months. Sure, you will lose 5 centimeters of your waist. This is a practical experience for me and many of my patients. So if you cut the carbohydrates and regularly exercise, you can reduce the abdominal obesity or the pot belly or the 9th month pregnancy or 7th month pregnancy bellies we are all having. So look at that. Another thing is look for these signs like a pigmentation in your private parts like the axilla or on the neck like that, dark colored skin around that, or, the knuckles are much darker than the rest of the fingers. Usually knuckles are slightly darker. That's okay. But if they're much more darker, they're all suggesting that I'm in for a condition called metabolic syndrome, which is insulin resistance, which is a forerunner of heart attacks. Man, centuries ago, human race has adopted in millions of years ago to live in the caves. And then he was not knowing when he will get the food. So he is a hunter-gatherer. He may get a sort of deer or any animal or any fruit or anything in the forest. He eats. He's not sure when he will get again the next 3 or 4, 1 week or 10 days. So that made man a thrifty gene hypothesis. The genes learned to conserve energy, and that thrifty gene, whatever he takes, putting in the bank as the fat. Now, what happened? Now, food is coming onto my plate, not 2 times, 3 times, 4 times before TV, after TV, before bed, after bed, munching crunchy items without any effort. and no exercise at all. The genes are thrifty, they're conserving whatever little I am eating. And then you know what happens with that. Now, this ape could not stand properly, started standing, and then became a sort of an ape which is almost about to using the stones and all. Now, the erect man, Homo erectus sapiens. This is a man, very thin abdomen, nice, no fat belly or anything here. Nice thing he is having. What happened? He suddenly became a Pepsi man, a Coca-Cola man, an alcoholic man, a fat man, a carbohydrate man. See the humps. Wherever there is possibility, there's only rounding. So everywhere he is rounded, a wonderful all-rounder. Who produced this person? We only produced that. Why? We never cared to know what we eat is right. And also we never cared to exercise our body. So look at that. Is that evolution or devolution? Now, earlier days, the burger used to have around 400 or 300 calories. Now, present burger is 1020 calories, which is 75 grams of fat. Okay. Now, to burn this difference of 700 calories, you have to walk at a speed of 5 miles per hour into 8 hours. 5 miles per hour into 8 hours, you will burn 700 calories. But that you can get it with one burger. Now, you imagine what you want to do. Urban children on an average watch TV 2 to 2.5 hours, a conservative estimate. My guess is they spend more with the mobile phones nowadays than with the TV. Either way, it is bad. Earlier days, when we were children, we used to go out and play in the evening. Now we never see any child on the road or in the parks, and they were all before their mobiles, iPads, and then sophisticated gadgets, and then the TVs. What will happen? You can imagine. Fat preteens have arteries of middle-aged smokers. If this fellow is 15 years and he has got, look at his arteries, he will be having the arteries of a 45-year-old smoker. That means having fatness in childhood is as bad as smoking for 45 years. You understand the implications of childhood obesity, which is not at all uncommon, even in Indian society. Now, this man wants to use this remote. He does not want to move from the chair. He is using another remote to control this remote, which controls his TV. Now, Sony has invented, watching television became even more convenient with Sony's introduction of a new remotely controlled remote control, Tokyo 9. And there will be another remote for this. Ultimately, only exercise, maybe we will be having, even machines will come and feed us, and we don't have to eat. Just open the mouth, the machine will put food in my mouth. That is the state we are driving our mechanization. Imagine what is the fate of that. This man was asked to buy a dog. Faithfully, he brought a dog, and the dog he tied so that it doesn't run away. One leash is having in his hand. He has put it on the treadmill. Treadmill is on. And the dog is becoming slimmer and slimmer and fitter and fitter. This man is fatter and fatter and ultimately succumbed to his heart attack. Nor need to watch TV or drink Pepsi. After some time, he follows this. This is not a joke. This is happening. Rapid urbanization, rural urban migration, brain drain in affluent countries, mechanization, and lack of hard physical work. My grandmother used to pound rice, wash clothes, fetch water from the well. Who is doing those works now? Do you think that we should go back and do that? No, we should find out ways of replacing that exercise in our daily routine, at the same time being productive with the time we gain by using the gadgets. Poor physical activity, sedentary lifestyle, couch potatoes and mouse potatoes. Couch potato is TV man, mouse potato is the computer child or man. Increase in calorific and fatty food, psychological stress is ever increasing. This is where the spirituality comes into rescue. I urge all of you to spend at least 1 hour in a week on spiritual upliftment. That be ever possible. 1 hour in a week, spend time so that you will have a mindset to de-stress yourself. childhood and adolescent obesity is very rampant. Now, it took 2.5 million years for this ape to become a civilized man. And 50 years, this civilized man is over civilized, became a McDonald's man, Burger King man, whatnot, Coca-Cola man, Pepsi man, a drink in the hand, a TV in front, and a sort of relaxing chair, and no nothing. There is food and bed, if possible, food or bed itself. Before bed, there is food. On the bed, there is food. Food on the bed. Bed is food. Food bed. Okay. Good, bad, and high cholesterol. HDL cholesterol is a good cholesterol. I told you HDL lowers the heart attack risk, and LDL is the bad cholesterol, low density lipoprotein. It is deposited in the pipes. LDL raises our risk for heart diseases. And there is another cholesterol called the triglyceride. This is also important. How much I should have? Know your numbers. The first thing is, if you know what is your target, total cholesterol should not be more than 200. Triglyceride 150, low density lipoprotein, high density 50, ratio of this and this 4. Forget about the ratio. At least if you know 200, 150 is the, you have to do the test in the fasting state. Now, what are my modifiable risk factors? I told you I can't become a non-Indian genetically. I can't change my parents. I can't change my age. I can't change my gender. I can change certain things. These are called modifiable risk factors. Abdominal obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, psychological factors, smoking, and alcohol. These are called the modifiable risk factors. Then why do you quantify the unmodifiable risk factors? Risk assessment. Suppose a man of 40 years comes versus a woman of 20 years. There's a lot of difference. You know, the gender, the age, the Indianness will make us predict what will happen once the disease occurs or even to prevent. Okay. Indian women are men. We claim gender equality very fast. We have catched the gender equality in this country. I'm very grateful for creating this gender equality. In how woman, if LPA is more than 30, woman becomes man. If he has got diabetes, if he has got obesity, if he has got insulin deficiency, and then the fasting glucose is high, or the polycystic ovary, all of you would have known that. Or if the patient, if the person, woman is centrally obese, who is not centrally obese, above 35, every woman is cylindrical. Okay, and if she's a smoker, so LPA, diabetes, IgD, central obesity, and smoking makes a woman a man. Means what? The risk of gender, the protection the gender enjoys is gone. And fourth point, the important factor is menopause, surgical or otherwise, or general menopause. Both are, that also puts them. The estrogen protection is lifted. Women become men. Other important novel risk factors for India are: ask for this test called microalbuminuria in your urine. No need to 24-hour collection, spot urine. Another test called HSCRP, homocysteine I referred to, fibrinogen. And every male patient and women also in that matter, their sexual health should be ascertained. A person who is not having erectile function properly is already a candidate of heart disease. It is a marker of heart disease. Erectile dysfunction is equal to endothelial dysfunction. Likewise, low intake of zinc, vitamin D, low potassium. How do I get potassium? By fruits. Potassium, fruits are sweet, not because they have more sugar. Their salts are potassium salts. Potassium salts are sweeter. So I have to have fruits to get potassium. There's another test called HSCRP. Ask for this from your physician or lab. If your HSCRP is less than 1, you have no low risk. Less than 3 to 1 is moderate risk. Less than more than 3 but less than 10 is high risk. And this much of amount of CRP is not due to heart disease, due to other conditions. So what should be my HSCRP? Ideally less than 3, or at least 1 to 3, and not more than 3. Not more than 3. That is the HSCRP. Now, homocysteine, this is another risk factor specific for Indians. Normal is 5 to 10, severe is more than 100, intermediate 10 is 1. This is in millimoles per liter. You can ask this a very simple blood test. I have told you some blood tests like all your lipid profile, HDL cholesterol, AL, that is the lipoprotein phenotype, LPA, HSCRP, and previous slide I told you about microalbuminuria and then the homocysteine and erectile dysfunction question. So these are some of the ED equal to ED, erectile dysfunction is equal to endothelial dysfunction. Endothelial dysfunction is vascular ill health. Endothelium is the lining of the blood vessels. The lining of the blood vessels is crying because of lack of nitric oxide, NO. And that means endothelial health is compromised. That is vascular ill health. The one marker for endothelial dysfunction directly is the erectile dysfunction. Atherothrombosis, that is the plaque and then the blood clot together occurring. Vulnerable plaque, which is again rich in lipids, small ruptures that leads to the clot, and vulnerable the container and the content. The content is the blood, container is the blood vessel, and if both are at fault, there is a high risk called vulnerable patient. Now, this is the pipe my mother has given me when she gave birth to me. And this is the pipe I have made it. I means we have made it with our cholesterol food, with our junk food, with our Pepsi, with our extra fat food, with our smoke. All these are nothing but our vada, idli, and then double roast masala dosa, triple roast kitchen, from the kitchen, all those things. This plaque has built up. Now you see all this is waste built up in the blood vessel, and this is the only area available for circulation. So you know, you can today know how talk in your heart without in doing anything, one can know that. Now this is an intravascular ultrasound. That means you put a tube, there is a little ultrasound gadget at the end, and that man's artery is this much, and this is all the fat, and here the fat has ruptured and produced a clot there, the black there. And only this much is available for blood, and this also will be used up by the clot, and heart attack occurs. So that is a plaque picturized by the intravascular ultrasound. Now you see, this is the normal size of the heart, 350 grams, normal size. When you have hypertension, cholesterol, and all the other risk factors, the heart enlarges and at 850 grams. This is supplied by 3 blood vessels. This is also supplied by the 3 blood vessels. There is a supply-demand imbalance. 850 grams cannot survive amount of blood supply available 350 grams. With the result, heart attack results. Now the blood pipes, you have 3 blood pipes. I told you this is the main blood pipe dividing into 2. One is called the LAD, the one comes in the front of the chest, the front of the heart, the one which goes onto the side, left side of the heart, and this is on the back of the heart and the right side. This is called the right blood vessel, left front blood vessel, left side blood vessel. Remember like that. There are 3-phase supply is given, just like our homes in India, they have 3-phase supply. God has given us 3-phase supply. In spite of that, if there is a block here, there will be some compensation from the other side. If there's a block here, some compensation from the other side. But then that will not materialize immediately. It takes time. In the meantime, patient should survive. And this is what exactly the 3 coronary blood vessels. I told you why they're called coronary blood vessels. So bypass graft is an operation you would have heard. I heard my uncle had bypass graft. This is the main tube called the aorta, where we pick up a vein and then connect it to the obstructed blood vessel in the heart. These are the blue ones are venous grafts. The vein is taken from your leg vein and that is put. Sometimes we take the artery and then give an arterial graft. The grafts can be arterial or venous. Depending on the block, it may be single vessel graft or double vessel graft or triple or multiple grafts. I have patients who had 5 or 6 grafts to various parts of the 3 blood vessels. So that's how the bypass graft works. Bypass graft Is no bypass for the problem. It is just a bypass for the emergency. The control is on the medication and prevention. Risk factor modification. We talked about non-modifiable risk factors: age, heredity, family history, previous heart attacks, gender. We also talked about modifiable risk factors, notable among them diabetes, high blood pressure, high blood cholesterol, particularly LDL and LPA, overweight and obesity, smoking, tobacco in any form, physical inactivity, birth control pills, drinking too much of alcohol, illicit drug use. Lipid screening must start very early in the life. As early as second decade, you should start, and slowly you have to emphasize on glycemic, that is sugar management, and blood pressure management. What type of activity I have to do? Always the question is, they will ask, sir, should I walk before lunch? Should I walk after lunch? Should I walk in the morning? Should I walk should I walk with my wife? Or should I walk with my girlfriend? All these are, you do something. What type of activity? How much? How often? What intensity? The answer is, do something. Rather than putting all the questions, start something. And then you get used to it. And then consult your doctor before you exercise. Because certain exercises are not good for certain types of heart diseases. So you have to know what is called exercise volume concept. What is that? F-I-T is time, duration. F-I-T, fit. So F is frequency, I is intensity, T is time. Fit is the mantra. Means I can increase the frequency. That means number of times in a week. I can increase the intensity. That is, how intense I do an exercise. I simply walk or jog, lift weights or do other things or swim, cycle. And the T is the time. 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on person's time availability and the state of the physical condition of the joints and body. You can either increase the frequency or increase the duration or increase the intensity. Ultimately, the exercise volume should be achieved. Ideal is to at least have 45 minutes to 1 hour of brisk walking every day. What is brisk walking? People should think, yeah, why very Sharma running? He's not walking. And you should feel the thumping of the heart and you should sweat. So that is brisk walk. I should sweat, my heart should pound, and people should think I am running. That is brisk walk. How much time? 45 minutes to 1 hour in one go or in 2 steps of morning and evening. Any other exercise is also welcome. Cycling, swimming, aerobic exercises, jogging are wonderful. Depending on your age and physical state, mental fitness, you can choose the exercise that fits you. Today, you don't have to go out for exercise. In home also, you have the several machines available. You can make use of them. Nothing wrong in that. Now, the red alert is the raise awareness to one and all. With this talk, I urge all of you to raise awareness in one and all about heart diseases, to prevent heart disease and the second killer, the stroke, to save lives and live long in good health, to reduce the economic burden of society. I have no right to be an invalid and burden my society. Think about that. You are claiming so many rights. Is it right on your part to be a burden on the society, burden on the healthcare, burden on the family? Just question yourself. We have no right to do that. In fact, this must be any nation's topmost priority, more so our nation's topmost priority. Who will get it? How do you get it? The political will. There will be several ads coming up to drink Coca-Cola and run onto the heaven. Did we ever go to the sky after drinking Coca-Cola? Why not the celebrities come and tell these messages on the TV? If they tell, then automatically community will listen. So go red alert. Make a date for exercise. Keep it. Tone up your time. Tone up as you tune in. Physical activity. Carry water and your baggage yourself. Don't look for a porter. Keep out of sight your junk food and sweets and all. Out of sight, out of mouth. Eat right. Lower cholesterol and weight. Shake a salty, sugary, fatty habit. Be a good loser. Use stairs. To be a good loser, use the stairs, not the elevator, for 2 or 3 floors. Quit smoking in 4 vital steps. Do not let us slip. If you slip from these things, arise. So it's not the number of important how many times we fall. It is important how quickly we can ricochet like a ball, కందుకము వలె సుజనుడు క్రిందంబడి మొగడ మీది కెన్నగవలయున్ మందుడు మృత్పిండము వలె క్రిందంబడి అడగియుండు. Should be like a ball. If we are slipping in our habits and exercise, we should arise and come out. Say, yes, for me, I have done this, and reward yourself. The right food choices, you have to make anything colorful is wonderful. Anything white like maida, your rice and your pastries and your ghee, they're very harmful. Physical activity, build in physical activity into daily life, whatever you can. Everybody cannot go very aerobic exercises. You can build in the exercise. The take home points, I'm about to close. My time is 1 hour, another 3 more minutes left. High rates, 2 to 4-fold prevalence and incidence and death due to heart disease. Greater prematurity, 10 years earlier, 5 to 10-fold increase. Greater severity, all 3 vessels, both in the young, males and females. And prevalence of glucose intolerance, that is diabetes, and then abdominal obesity. Conventional risk factors are not much in Indians. Other risk factors are more. High rates of coronary artery disease at any given level of the 4 risk factors. Lower cutoff values for Indians for these things. Look for LPA, apoprotein B, LDL levels, and then homocysteine and HSCRP also as your part of checkup. And then CVD for more CVD or lesser degree of our atherosclerosis. We have recommendations again from the coronary artery disease. This one, look for metabolic syndrome, which is nothing but hypertension, abdominal obesity, insulin resistance, dyslipidemia, that is the cholesterols together. Cholesterol, abdominal obesity, insulin resistance, and blood pressure together is metabolic syndrome. Waist circumference is very important. Screen for diabetes as early as 20 and look for LPA and homocysteine. And also, if abnormal, follow it up after due intervals. Full lipid profile, start at 20 years, repeat every 5 years, or whenever you increase by 3 kilograms of weight. And then 20% lower cutoff values you use. If 100 is normal for any cholesterol, make it 80 so that you have that little bit of cushion. Don't be happy, oh, it is 100 is normal, mine is 106. In no time it can become 150. So what you have to do is try to keep 20% less as a reserve for you. Okay. And BMI cutoff should be 23, and then waist 90 for men, and 90 for men and 80 centimeters for women is the waist cutoff. Heart healthy lifestyle, food habits right from the childhood. Remember that your children not only inherit your property, not only inherit your genes, they inherit your habits and lifestyle too. If we have a wonderful, healthy lifestyle, the grandchildren and children will follow that, and they will be future healthy citizens of the country. Now, remember, in this show of the world, there are 2 exits, exit 1 and exit 2. Only Rende Margangal. Only 2 doors are open. Door 1, at the end of the show, there are only 2 exits. Door 1, cardiovascular deaths. That is what all we have talked about. Door 2, this cardiovascular diseases means heart disease, brain stroke, limb blood vessels, and kidney blood vessels. All others put together, infections, COVID, accidents, maternal mortality, psychological trauma, whatever you name, cancers, everything is in this door. Only one door is reserved for these cardiovascular diseases. Out of them, this rules the roost, and around 60% is coronary artery disease. Out of that 50%, what should I do? I should see that I don't succumb here, so that I will live long enough to die of other diseases. One person asked, sir, you are asking me to not to smoke. So are there any smokers who have not died? My answer is yes, they all died. Then smokers died, non-smokers also died. Then why should I not smoke? Because both are dying. The answer is, if you smoke, you will use your lungs faster, and not only you die early, you will have a miserable life when you live during the course, and you will have a miserable death. Then he has understood. Now I request all of you, wherever you are, you just read the pledge and then give the pledge to yourself, not to anyone. What is that pledge? I, Rachakonda Venkata Subramanian Narasimha Sharma, pledge to do at least 5 of the following to help lower my risk for heart disease and stroke. I do at least 5 of the following to help lower my risk for heart disease and stroke. I have no right to burden my society with unhealthy heart and set a bad example for myself and my community. What are they? 10 are given, do at least 5. Know what my BP is, 120 by 80 should be the normal. Sugar, 100 fasting, 140 postprandial, ideal weight, BMI 23, cholesterol 200, 150, 100 and 50, which I have showed you, more than 50 HDL, others are less than that number. That you should know. Then have my BP, weight, sugar, cholesterol checked every 2 years. Reduce the purchase of sugar, salt, and oil by half. What does it mean? If you are buying 2 kilos of sugar, buy 1 kilo from tomorrow. If you are buying 4 packets of salt, buy 2 packets of salt. 5 liters of oil, make them 2.5 liters. This is called tax deduction at source. At the source itself, you cut off. Take measures to maintain healthy weight. Do moderately intense physical activity of 45 minutes every day. On days when I don't have time, I will do in 3 segments of 15 minutes. Stay tobacco free. If I smoke, pick a date and quit. Limit my alcohol to none or very occasional. Don't be under the impression some news or some items you read. No, alcohol is very good for health. My friend also is drinking. He has not got heart attack. That's a different story. Don't heed to such bad, unfiltered advice. Take medicines as per your doctor's prescribed. Encourage others at risk to join this movement of ECHO. What is ECHO? Empowering communities in health outcomes. We'll recruit at least 2 people into this movement. You have to recruit maybe your spouse, maybe your child, maybe your friend, whatever you are. Write their names and circulate to them. So these are the 10 points. Now you have taken a pledge now. You cannot go back and then stick to the pledge. If you do all the 10, wonderful. At least 5 of them. And please do that. With this, I'm going to end my talk with a quote from the Chinese Nia Chiang, 2600 BC. See that? It's around the date of our Bhagavad Gita. First Chinese medical text. Superior doctors prevent disease. Average doctors treat before it is evident. Inferior doctors wait until it is full blown. A doctor I replace, superior human beings prevent disease. Average human beings go for treatment when it is evident. Inferior human beings wait until it is full blown. Isn't it? Should we prevent or not? You take a call. There is a wonderful place called love. That place called love is called grandparenthood. You see this wonderful man happily enjoying his life with his grandchild, 1-year-old, and now 5-year-old or 4-year-old. Today he is 6 years, this picture is 4-year-old, and that man is most blessed because he could live to enjoy the grandparent. How many of the community people in the community can aspire this sort of wonderful life? Why not we be one among them? With this, thank you all. And thank you, WMR, for a wonderful opportunity. God bless you all.
Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Professor Sharma. You got a great sense of humor to package such a very serious topic and made it so, I shouldn't say entertaining, but very empowering. And, I think all the audience will join me in saying thank you, for your amazing, service to us, to our community, and for your ECHO project. I think you showed us that we can take charge of our health. We cannot control a lot of things, but we can control a lot of things also, right?
Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.